Level 6, critical engagement. Now we're getting into the top two levels of the 7th level engagement framework, critical engagement and literate thinking. Remember, these two levels are about delighting your customers, which means focusing on customer attention and customer loyalty. This is where you help your audience transition from simply fans and customers to active brand advocates. Critical engagement means your audience is engaged with you on an emotional level and believes your brand understands and cares about their goals. This goes beyond the product and allows for brand loyalty.
So now we're going to be talking about critical engagement. So as a child, if you had a really, really good teacher, the teacher would notice you and the teacher would help guide you to what you're actually looking for. I'll kind of move this towards when you're in high school and you're looking for a college. Your guidance counselor is really good at critical engagement. Your guidance counselor helps you set goals that transforms your life. That's critical engagement. She or he sits with you, asks you questions about what you're looking for from your life, helps you choose a college, and you're sitting in her room that you probably never thought you would actually be in. You didn't even know where the door was when you were, freshman and sophomore, and now you're sitting there for hours at a time because she or he is helping you with your goals. And you're setting your own goals because of this person. This person is asking you questions and guiding you to actually being able to set goals for yourself that will truly transform the rest of your life. Do you want to go to college? Do you not want to go to college? Do you want to stay here? Do you want to go across the country? Questions that are truly about what you want, what you're passionate about, and inspiring you to take some type of action in your own life.
Like an inspiring guidance counselor, brands that are able to inspire their audience to set goals and make changes in their lives have achieved a very high level of engagement with their audience. Critical engagement is rooted in that ability to inspire. Brands that achieve critical engagement with portions of their audience know their own values really well themselves and are able to connect their audience to those values too.
For critical engagement, I want to give an example with a brand that does this very well. There's something called Black Friday, and Black Friday is a day where everyone goes shopping like a crazy person. There's sales, flash sales all over the country, online, offline, really, really crazy sales. So from like 100% of the actual price to 20% of the price. REI is a brand that's a very outdoorsy brand. So they sell, camping gear and clothing, and they did a tremendous campaign during Black Friday. They stood for something. What they did was they said, we are going to close all of our stores on Black Friday, this day where most stores were hoping to make, months worth of sales. And instead of actually opening our stores to the public, we want to create a campaign that inspires people to go outside. What we stand for being outside in nature, respecting nature, being with your loved ones in the outdoors. We want you to do that. And we're actually going to take a personal hit, a personal sacrifice, so that you can know our goals that we're setting to transform our culture and our lives and inspire you to do the same. And so they created a campaign called Opt Outside. They created a website, had all of these people all over the world share their inspirational stories of opting outside on Black Friday instead of shopping and being with their loved ones in the outdoors. And now, every single year, what ends up happening is these people that are unbelievably loyal to REI, and maybe, by the way, didn't know REI to begin with, now opt outside instead of going shopping on Black Friday. What they did was they changed culture. They changed the way people were looking at themselves in this experience. These people were taking walks, which are so good for them. They were spending time with their family because most families have off during Black Friday. They were, actually appreciating nature, which is not an infinite resource that we should respect and love. They were helping individuals set personal goals in their own lives, i.e., I'm going to respect nature more, I'm going to spend time with my family, I'm going to opt outside on this date next year, already setting that opportunity for year after year, which probably ended up permeating in other parts of their life, which probably, I would say, inspired them to think about nature differently, to think about their family differently and time with their family, to think about how much money they're actually spending. That one campaign, that one experience. And if you actually look at the Opt Outside hashtag, it was thousands and thousands of people sharing their personal stories based on these goals that were able to be set by REI. That's a big action that I think makes a lot of sense. But now looking at the questions that I would ask, it would be, what are the goals that we're setting as an internal organization that is actually transforming ourselves? What are the goals that we're standing for our audience? And how are we actually asking our audience to think differently about themselves and the world? How are we using language that can transform individuals' lives, not just sell a product? By the way, this will automatically sell a product because you're not just focused on the sale, you're focused on something more meaningful, and that's where this brand loyalty comes in, which we'll talk even more about on the 7th level.
So that's critical engagement. To engage your audience at this level, share your own story so that others are inspired to share their stories of positive transformation.